Well, welcome to Chain Gang Sports. I'm John Pope, and as always, we are here in the lovely Citizens Bank of Rogersville Studios, our premier sponsor. We want to thank them. And this is going to be a show that I'm going to learn as much as you guys are out there, and I hope you please, if you have questions, comments, whatever, and I'll remind everybody of that throughout the show. But we're here to talk about the Storytime Park reveal, which has already been revealed, but we're going to reveal it tonight. So go down the line and introduce yourselves.
I'm Chris Ballard, pastor at Story Church, assistant soccer coach at LR. Probably wear a few other hats, but we'll just leave it at that.
I'm Luke Fraser, live in Rogersville, got 2 kids in the school district, work at Oak Star Bank, and happy to be a part of this project.
Yep, I'm Tyson Collins. I work at Emery Sapp & Sons, a heavy civil construction company, and have 3 kids in the district. So, yeah, super excited about this much needed project and park.
It is. So let's just get right into it. I mean, what is Storytime Park, and where did this idea come from?
Oh, where did it come from? It's interesting. I was on my computer the other day just trying to look for kind of my napkin drawing. And I saw the timestamp on it was 2020.
You really had a napkin drawing.
Yeah, I really did. I did. So when David Klaus bought Jamestown Plaza, this was going back almost, 2018?
Yeah.
And, he and I met and we began talking about that whole Jamestown, development went bust. And so it was kind of somebody had a vision and it had died, right? Mm-hmm. And so David and I began praying, Can we see God bring life back into this development? So he bought the plaza, and then of course a couple of years later, another 100 homes were built, and now we've got another 50 homes and another 200 that are coming, and so it's been kind of cool. And so when we moved in, we wanted to use, if we were going to be a part of that, we wanted to use the church building to really bless the community. So it started with Storytime Coffee Company. Because back then, there was not a place to sit and have just a conversation, like a Bible study or a business meeting or anything like that. It was Hardee's or McDonald's, which is kind of loud, right? So we just had a heart for saying, we love this community. We want to build community and bring a place for people to have community. So that's kind of where it started. And so we always kind of had an eye on buying that plaza from David, which we did in 2021. It was kind of fun to go back and look at that napkin drawing, and it's pretty similar to what you see in our plan here. And you guys can go look at this online if you want to go to storytimepark.org. You can check that out and you can learn more about the whole project. So that was the vision, but it took a while to kind of think about it, dream about it, and then when the time was right, it was like, okay, I think it's on.
That's awesome. And I've known you forever. I'm meeting Luke tonight for the first time, but I've known Tyson forever. When you say the heart, you're not joking about the heart for this community, because this is the projects you've done are all from the heart, with Storytime Coffee and the church especially, and then all that stuff. Why now do you think that this is a good time to bring on a project like this?
Yeah, well, I think it's a couple things. One, we didn't buy the building until 2021, right? But now we've seen just kind of the community grow. I don't know if you've seen this, but in 2024, Rogersville was listed as the fastest growing community in the state of Missouri. And so we're seeing all this growth. We're seeing, on the Rogersville residents pages, all the different pages, we keep hearing it from the feedback of the community saying, I wish we had this. I wish we had this. I wish we had this. And every time I kind of had this on the back burner, and I'm smiling. I wanted to jump in and say, it's coming, right? And so, John, it was last year that I went to the elders at our church and I said, look, we've got that lot on the south side of Jamestown Plaza. It's there for us to use to grow or whatever. But I said, I've got this idea. And I was kind of expecting the elders to go, that's a dumb idea, right? Yeah, you cannot do that.
Sorry, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, another one of Ballard's big dreams, right? And they looked at me and they said, No, that's exactly why we planted in this community, to bless this community. It's back to the original vision of Story, and that's a great idea. Let's pray about it and let's see what happens. And so I think it was about 6 months later, I contacted these two along with their wives, Sarah and Hannah, Rick Burney, for those of you guys that are part of the Wildcat Football Academy, you know Rick, and then Rusty Darnell as well, and kind of gathered these guys and said, look, I want to put together a committee, and here's what I'm trying to do. And you guys are probably going to think this is dumb. And if you say, no way, find somebody else to help you get your crazy idea off the ground. I will totally understand. And I'll let them take it from there. What kind of your response and your wife's response?
Yeah. Not really expecting it. I think we were walking out of church one day and Chris run down the hall and grabbed us and said, Hey, I got something I want to talk to you about. And just kind of hit us up. And, I know my wife and I looked at each other and said, yeah, I think we want to be a part of that. I know, we grew up in a small town, about 2,500 people, actually smaller than Rogersville, and we had all those things. We had a very robust city park system, Little League fields, city pool, tennis courts. And I just remember as a kid and teenager, that's where we hung out. And we don't have that for our kids.
That's right.
And that's probably one of the biggest reasons that I know my wife and I are excited to be a part of this is to help give back to the community and build something that, our kids are going to use and future generations' kids are going to use. And, he made up a good point the other day is, it's also a safety issue. Instead of these kids traveling to Republic, Nixa,
Sure.
Ozark to go play sand volleyball or go play a pickup basketball game, heck, they can do it right here in our backyard once we get this done.
Hey,
keeps them off the road and everything else. So.
You kind of stole all my thunder.
That's what a brother-in-law does, right?
I appreciate that.
You sat at the end of the table. So.
He was looking at Tyson's notes. He's like, "Oh, those are good."
It's better than what I had.
But no, that was a big catcher for me and for Sarah. For Briley, once she gets driving age to go play pickleball, she won't be driving to Springfield. And to play sand volleyball, she won't be driving to Ozark. So,
well, Chris, you brought it up earlier. I read the residents' pages and one of the things that we always hear in there is there's nothing to do in this community. And quite frankly, outside of sports and school, there really isn't anything for our kids to do. So tell us all about the project. Tell us what you guys are putting in and let us know what we can expect.
So, there's one full-size basketball court, 4 pickleball courts, 1 futsal court.
Go ahead, tell them what futsal
Well, I was going to say, I got to know.
Well, my understanding is it's soccer on a hard surface, right?
You nailed it.
Perfect.
So that's popular all over Europe and South America. You'll see them at every city center, every park, every square. You'll see this. And so the 4 pickleball courts are actually overlaid over that futsal court. My imagination is it'll be about 95% pickleball usage.
Yeah.
And then, occasionally we'll clear the nets off because we're going to say, all right, we're going to have a futsal tournament over the weekend.
Luke, how's your pickleball game?
Mine is terrible, but my wife loves it.
Does she? Tyson, are you?
I actually just played for the first time a couple days ago.
Was it fun?
Yeah.
I've never played yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could get into it.
It's addictive.
So the futsal, did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. So that'll be this whole complex here. And it's basically, what is the time and the hour? What are you guys looking at as far as people using this? Would you rent a court or, maybe I want to have a birthday party where we do pickleball. Am I on the right track?
Yeah. So, the idea is this is open to the public. And I think that's a really important bit of clarification. When we first brought this idea up, one of the guys said, I just don't know how you're going to get people to give money to your church. And I said, well, okay, good. I'm glad that came up because we're not asking anybody to do that. In fact, what the church has done is saying that land, we're giving that. It stays as ours, but we're saying this is set aside for the city. So I've told our church members, this is not our park and we're letting others use it. No, this is open to the public and we get in line like everybody else. So yeah, there'll be some hours, obviously being in a residential neighborhood. We'll turn the lights off, at an appropriate time,
Sure.
because you don't want to make noise while people are trying to sleep,
Yeah.
But for the most part, open,
and for old dudes like me, this is perfect. It's a great way to come in, stay in shape, try to take you on in some, soccer and,
Let's go.
and things like, oh, I'm well below your standards. So you guys all got together and you talked, you formed your committee. How long ago has that been, and what's been the process so far of completing this project?
How long ago was it, Chris? About
Six
months
months
ago?
Spring,
wow.
yeah, I'd say about
Yeah.
6 months ago.
So I know Chris kind of already had a hand-drawn sketch, got some preliminary plans drawn, kind of decided what our fundraising campaign was going to look like. And then about 3 weeks ago, we started actually hitting up some donors and sponsors and kind of silently behind the scenes we wanted to have some momentum going before we actually launched it to the public. And it's gone extremely well, actually.
Yeah.
way faster, way better than what.
When we looked at it, I was like, good God.
It was a little beyond our imagination as well.
Yeah.
Ballard for mayor or something, right? Someday. No, that's amazing. So
There are a lot of generous folks in the community, and we'll get to some of those shout outs later. But no, it's been great to have that head of steam coming out of here, and we look forward to progressing on and groundbreaking in spring.
Yeah, I mean, I think initially the thought was, if we could get to 250,000 by the end of the calendar year, that way when we go right for some of these grants, and when I say grants, we're not looking for city money, any kind of state level, no government money, nothing that would come from a taxpayer. These are family foundations, these are trust funds, these are different, local grants that we're applying for. And then we're looking for business owners that want to be a business sponsor and advertise at our park. And then we're looking for families and individuals to chip in as well. And so kind of that's the plan. Those are kind of the three areas that we're looking for the fundraising. So the church says, all right, we've got the land. That's our contribution. And then we'll provide oversight. We'll pay the insurance, which won't be cheap. And we'll care for it, and we'll oversee it. So you asked the question, can you rent it? Yes, but we'll have a committee over that to make sure that there's only a small number per month of times it can be rented, because we want to keep it open for the public. But say you want to rent the portico, the kind of that pavilion area, you could rent that, and then other people could still come and play, but you could have that covered space for, let's say, an hour or 2 hours or whatever. Or let's say you're raising money for the LR soccer team, and I thank you for that, John, for doing
You're
that.
welcome.
But when you do that, you're saying we're doing a pickleball tournament.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. You can do that. Here's the maintenance cleanup fee. That's all we're charging you, because we want you to be able to spend that or raise that money rather than spending it on a rental fee. So those are the concepts.
And I know everybody's going to have a million ideas for you, but one of my things when I was growing up, Friday nights, you went to the football game, and then afterwards you went to church.
Yeah, fifth quarter.
Fifth quarter,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We don't have a fifth quarter.
Right.
And how awesome would this be to, have something like that to where all the kids can come out and, blow off some steam if we lost the game, or,
Celebrate
if you won. But, say, like soccer has a big night. Okay, everybody's meeting at the, at the park.
And you've nailed it. When I think about reservations, that's what I think about. I think about Young Life. I think about FCA, whatever clubs, even other churches, whatever. So, that's exactly what we envision. We want a place, especially for our teenagers. It's for all ages, but we want our teenagers to really enjoy it.
You guys are doing something that a city and state would have trouble doing in this project. And I love the fact that it's privately funded. What does a partnership with you guys look like for those in the community that want to partner with you?
Pretty simple. In our packet and on the website, we've got different sponsorship levels. There's not a donation or a sponsorship that's too small. So, $50, $100, that's going to help go towards the larger scheme of thing. But then there's different levels for businesses that want to be a part of it and actually put their name on something. $5,000 gets you a 4x6 sign, metal sign that gets permanently affixed to the fence. So it'll be there into perpetuity. So it's not like an annual renewal type thing, one donation, and then it goes up from there. We've had companies already, pledge $50,000, $100,000. So
awesome. How
Yeah.
much to put my hand in the cement right before it dries? Is that
If you
possible?
leave it there a while, we'll let you do it for free.
If I leave it there a while, permanently stuck up. You could raise money off of just like people driving by it. $1 to come see how John Pope's living in the cement.
He's still there.
So, I mean, you guys have obviously had a ton of support, with this already in your fundraising. You said you're going to break ground in spring.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Did you talk to the architect and the engineer to get them going?
Yeah, so we had a conversation last week saying, look, we were hoping to get to 500,000 by spring so that we could break ground. Well, we've already passed that in gifts and also pledges, but we have most of that actually cash in hand already, which is incredible. And so the idea is we could actually break ground even before spring. I mean, that would be ideal before the rainy season hits to start moving dirt and get the concrete work prepared at least. And so, yeah, it's a real possibility that everything on that timetable that we have printed in that booklet on the website could be bumped up. Now, I've been a part of a lot of construction projects, so I'm not getting my hopes up there. Things take time. But the main point I'm making is we're way ahead of our fundraising goal at about just shy of $535,000. And again, like Luke said, that's in just under 3 weeks' time, which is incredible. And there's some pretty big donors that I think are supposed to get back with us in the next week or two as well. So that could go up significantly. Yeah,
your mission statement says a gathering place for Rogersville. What does that look like to you guys? And what does that, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit and I want to beat a dead horse, but what does that look like for you guys? And what does that mean to you guys as you, with your wives, are looking back and that place is full and you see people out there just having a good time? What does that look like for you?
Just the community needs it so much. Just a place for our kids to go hang out, whether it be after church or on a Saturday or after school sometime, and to be right there by the coffee shop and to be, ministered as well doesn't hurt anything either. So.
Yeah. Do you see this as also a source of being able to spread the word, as far as? Oh, absolutely.
I wish Ryan were here. Ryan was in my youth ministry when I started ministry 28 years ago. He was 14. I was at the wise old age of 21, probably a little bit blind leading the blind. But, the reality is, as long as I've been a pastor, there's always been a sports component. I like to tell people my dad grew up in a home that was not a Christian home. He was, his dad was an alcoholic, didn't spend any time with him. And my dad loved baseball. He was a pretty good baseball player. And so he would play any chance he got, even fast pitch softball and church league softball. And so his brother, Don, had gotten saved. He was quite a bit older than my dad, but he had said, Dick, you need to come out and play in our church league team. Well, he found out he had to go to church 3 Sundays a month in order to play.
Oh, wow.
And so my dad that was worth it for him. He wanted to play. Well, that's how he came to know the Lord.
It's a great example.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so sports has always been a passion for me, as you know. I mean, I've coached football, I've coached baseball. I've been the chaplain for the high school football team over in Southeast Missouri when we lived there for 6 years. Done all the sports, love all the sports. And for me, this is kind of on two sides of it. It is about sharing the gospel, not just being out there like you're in the middle of a pickleball game and say, hey, I'm talking about Jesus. That's not what I mean by that. But just the fact that we're building it is very much the creation mandate of Genesis 1 and 2. When God says to Adam, go have dominion over the earth, subdue it. We are supposed to be cultivators, creators, co-creators with him. And so when we create community, when we create culture, we're telling the world that God loves you. We're telling the world this is what Christianity looks like. We're not just here to build a building and say, now you come to us. We're saying, no. What does the community need? We want to love you by responding to what you desire. And we want to be a part of creating solutions rather than just going online and griping about what we don't have.
There was a pastor, I don't remember what his name was, but he once told me, he said, the guy that opens the door for somebody and smiles in church is planting seeds that they don't even know about. Yeah. That's huge. What this kind of reminds me of a little bit. Yeah. So we're talking maybe springish time. What can we be doing as a community? I know we're raising funds, things like that. what else can we be doing to support this and get this completed?
Go like the Facebook page, share our post as much as possible. Just get the word out there. Would be what I would have to say.
Yeah, I'd echo that. Just spread the word. Obviously, donate if you can. Every dollar counts. Every dollar goes towards the end goal. But yeah, just spread the word. Tell people about it. Get excited. I think this is going to be something pretty cool, and I can't wait to see it done.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'd love to see every business owner in Rogersville consider being a part of this. Even $1,000 donation, put your name on a shared sign. $2,500 gets a 2x3 sign that is your own, stays for the life of the park, and a 4x6, as Luke said, that's at the $5,000 level. But and I would also say this: they may say, "Well, I don't have 5,000 right now." Yeah, but could you do 1,025, 2,026, and 2,027, and spread that out over 3 years? We'll take that, and that's still that platinum level 4x6 sign. That's huge. And I've said the same. We've got some businesses that are giving $50,000 and they're doing the same thing. They're giving a little bit this year and a little bit the next, a lot each year. But I'm bringing all that to say we've had some big donations come in, and we obviously needed that to set the foundation. But I would say to the families and individuals out there listening, don't think that because you don't have the thousands to give that you can't contribute. If you can give $100, $50, just because you love the idea and you love what you're hearing tonight, just go online, and you can do it right now. You can give either through the Community Foundations of the Ozarks, or you can give directly to Story Church. Either one is a tax-deductible charitable contribution. And so just do your part, do a small little bit. But the great thing is, if you don't give a penny, you can still come play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Those that want to give will give, and if you can't give, we get that too.
And there might be opportunities later in the future, as people, young families it might be tougher now, but like 5 years from now, when you guys are needing some maintenance upkeep or
Absolutely.
Things like that. So we talk a lot about legacy here on Chain Gang, and really what I try to get these kids to understand is that they think they're football players, and they think they're basketball players and baseball players and softball players or whatever, but they are creating a legacy. We talk about that with your show all the time. What legacy do you guys hope to leave, or a footprint you hope to leave, and in 20 years it's still there?
For me, it's all about my kids. I'd like to look back someday when they're using this, and maybe their kids are using this, and say, hey, I was a part of the beginning, part of the, Chris's idea, but part of bringing this to life and giving it to the community, and just being able to look back and say, hey, we left a legacy in the community, and this is something tangible that we were able to help provide.
Tell me about we're talking about all the good things right now. Tell me about some funny moments in this. Like, do you guys have any moments where you're like, because I know for a fact you guys have prayed about this, and let God guide this project. But tell us about some funny moments in here where, I don't know, whatever it might be, something goes awry. Or
are you thinking about you're calling me?
Yeah, yeah. We had our first big donor, and
keep in mind, I'm getting ready to do warm-ups. We're getting ready to play Ozark High School on a Monday night. Last week of regular season.
Yeah.
And like, he sends a text to the whole group, and I'm just like giddy laughing. And then he calls me, and he can't even say a word. He starts laughing.
I just started laughing. And Chris said, "Hey, I had to get away from the kids. I was about to bust out in tears."
Yeah.
So it was such a cool feeling. And when the guy told me how much he was giving, just give me chills. And
you can give that business a shout
yeah,
out right
it's
now.
Cameron Jones with Next Gen Law Group. Him and his wife donated through their business $100,000. So,
nice.
Thank you, Cameron Jones. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. So I bet, I would have to walk away. You know me, I get teary eyed over everything, but I'd have to walk away from the kids a little bit. So,
what was crazy too was that was before I coached the game, and by the time the game was over, I think was it Hannah that told us about the $30,000 gift?
No, that was
me.
Oh,
I
you
had a pretty good day.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
did.
was gonna
I
say.
had a pretty good
Yes,
day.
I got more good news.
Yeah, so later that evening, while Chris was playing soccer, I'd send out another
Well, I
text.
wasn't playing. I was coaching.
Coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching.
Let's be clear. I'm past my prime.
Coaching. The French Family Foundation donated $30,000 to the project as well. So
That's
thank
amazing.
you to Justin and Lindsay French.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Well, it was last Sunday too that I was prepared. I was kind of excited because I was telling the church, you know what I'm getting ready to tell you. So here I am. I'm getting ready to make this announcement. Of course, our church already knew we were doing this, but I was reminding them, hey, tomorrow's when we're going live on social media. I just want to encourage you, church. We've raised what was it at that time? $126,000. You know, and I was thrilled with that amount because we were trying to get to $250 by the end of the year. Well, right after I had made that announcement, I've already dismissed the church and getting ready. I'm thinking about second worship gathering. And our church treasurer comes up to me and goes, Chris, I'm sorry. I thought you already knew this. And I'm like, already knew what? And he goes, well, we had an anonymous donor who gave a $250,000 donation to this.
Wow.
And so like people are walking out and I turned my mic back on. I said, whoa, hey, y'all. I need you to know it's better than I thought. I can't do the maths in my head, but add 250,000 to that.
Oh, wow.
And so I think most people heard that on the way out the door, but it was wild.
Well, it's cool. I when I'm looking at your pamphlet here, you got a quote by Dr. Valentine, and it just shows like the community aspect of this. You know, like from the schools to to Storytime to all the individuals you're talking about donating to this. I mean, this is such an amazing thing for the community. Are you going to have a big kickoff? Is there going to be like a grand opening and?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a ribbon cutting too, aren't we?
Well, we'll start with the groundbreaking in the spring, and then when it's done, we'll do a big groundbreaking. And
can we cover the groundbreaking?
I hope you do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That would be
I would
fantastic.
love it. Don't let me don't
We'll hold you
forget to
to
let
it.
me know.
We'll hold you to it.
That would be awesome. So I want to see you in a hard hat, number one,
Yeah, well,
because I'd be with the hair and everything.
Mess up his hair.
So
I just hope I still have hair by then.
anything I haven't covered, guys, that you wanted to cover on, or any stories you got?
I think for me the biggest thing is I think as a coach how much I appreciate just seeing kids enjoy what they do, and so I've got 3 college athletes. Well, I guess 1 now because my 2 played their final college game last week. But they were all privileged to have private coaches, play on club teams, and if you've ever been a part of that, you know how expensive that is. In fact, we couldn't afford it. I coached so that my kids could play club soccer. But a lot of private lessons for my daughter, pole vaulting and dancing and all those sort of things. But, at the end of the day, when I look at the best soccer players in the world and just talk about my sport, I bet you can transfer this to basketball and just, go to the Dominican, you're talking baseball. But the ones that are really excelling and on top of the world, they're just playing pickup all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's been lost in American sports culture. And I'm not here to bang on club sports because they have their place, and they've certainly, my kids are the athletes they are today because of those coaches. But I limit the fact that it's only in that realm, and it's not just playing in the backyard anymore. It's not just playing pickup. I think that's where maybe you don't learn the skills. I think you kind of do actually, but you certainly develop the passion and you learn the fight. And the other thing is play other sports. Don't just play soccer. Go play some basketball. Play pickleball. You're going to work on your footwork and your hand-eye coordination. And so that's what I love about this is it's just free play. And that was something I really wanted to highlight. Just we need a space for kids to have free play.
Have you talked to Dr. Valentine about getting a pickleball team going through the school?
Maybe that's my next leg after soccer.
I'm telling you, could you imagine a big old tournament on the weekends and
That'd be pretty cool.
food trucks out there and all that sort of stuff? So I had a question for you and I totally lost it, Chris. And I'm sorry. We talk a lot to one of the things that I do get teary-eyed all the time for these kids because we get to meet these kids and we get to see them in a different light than most people do behind the scenes. And there's so many kids that come to mind that I'm thinking, man, without that, you I don't know where you'd be. Like, probably be in some trouble.
Yeah.
And that's what I look at this and I say, you get down there, maybe it's someone that's, doesn't have a ton of friends, and all of a sudden they go down there and they pick up all these friends pickleballing, and I just think it's amazing. I just think it's super amazing. So
yeah,
I've got some rapid fire questions for you. That's not the topic of the park. But
is this going to be a hair question?
no, we're not doing hair questions.
Tyson
tonight.
has better hair than all of us.
I do. Hey, not a hair misplaced.
I love it. Okay, so favorite sport to watch?
Football.
Football.
Did you hear me say Messi or were you here when I did that? Messiah.
Yeah.
Were you here when I did that?
The Argentinians think he's the Messiah, but
Well, favorite sport to play?
Now?
Yeah. Now?
Probably golf.
Yeah, golf for sure.
soccer.
Yeah. Game day or go-to game day snack. Like this means like your kids or, you're packing them snacks and stuff, right? Or you're watching them.
Golly.
Beef jerky.
If it's for my kids, it's cheesesteaks, like string cheese.
Hot wings.
Oh, how do you manage that?
What, I'm watching a game?
Oh, okay. That's right.
I thought you were talking about, yeah.
No, I love it.
I don't do that before I play. It's a peanut butter sandwich and a banana if I'm getting ready to go play old man soccer.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's what I eat when I dive is I always have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, something simple.
So, favorite local team or athlete?
Logan Rogersville Wildcats.
Yeah, you guys don't want to say anything else? Nick, so.
No, I'll just say watching the high school football team this year was pretty fun. They had some real players that were fun to watch all season.
And unexpected, in my opinion.
Yeah.
100%. Good job, Coach Wells.
Yeah.
And the whole staff.
They were fun. Oh, and I was going to say that too. Like, I felt like the atmosphere went up exponentially this year.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how that happens. And when you're talking about wanting to see that at the park, I thought it's building. This community is growing tighter. And so this is just the next step in that. But that was something when you were talking, I was thinking about that. So favorite sport for me? Well, boys soccer's over, so the high school girls team's my favorite.
That's
our team right now.
Your new favorite.
My new favorite, yeah.
Favorites, or who's your all-time sports hero?
Michael Jordan.
Ozzie Smith.
Golly. Yeah, I think it's Ozzie Smith for me too.
What about Jesus?
I just got Jesus juked.
Gotcha.
He played soccer,
He did.
I mean, I'm sure it was
100%.
That's why it's the world's number one sport. So.
It's Jesus' game.
What's one life lesson sports taught you that applies to community?
Discipline, dedication, desire, just hard work. The more you put out, the more you get back.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I played football, so teamwork. Everybody's got a job to do, and if everybody does it, then you'll prevail.
Yeah, I think I had a boss who said it's about the people who are depending upon us. And so I think just that selflessness that you learn in being a part of a team sport, where you go, okay, I can't make it about me.
Sure.
I want it. We all want it to be about us, but I think that's what sports teaches us is that I got other guys that are counting on me to do my part, and I need them to do their part.
That's awesome. Random question: favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy. the good traditional stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the good old turkey.
Yeah, man. It's the turkey. It's the stuffing that makes the whole meal. It's like the glue that makes the whole thing to come together. A bad stuffing ruins Thanksgiving Day.
It does.
But a good stuffing?
Because, the stuffing, if you're like us, you have so much left over.
Yeah.
And some of that gets thrown out. You know what doesn't get thrown out? Stuffing.
Yeah, you just keep heating that stuff up.
I make a really good oyster stuffing.
That was a thing in my family for like a decade, and I didn't get it. That's so gross, man.
You don't like it?
So I'd show up as a kid. I'm like, which one is clean? Which one's got the nasty crap in it? Right?
Oh,
I'm glad that doesn't happen in my family anymore. It was like a decade. I don't know. It just like came and went.
Well, I got it from my grandmother. you know, and so it might have been an older
I think
generational thing. So, but I love it. I'm one of the only people in my family that eats it, so I make me a big batch. And
you know what? Would you make? I think my adult palate would like it now.
I'll make
some
you.
up?
Yeah, I'll
make
make you a little to go stuffing.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay,
I think
I'm
I'd
gonna
like
do
it now. I snubbed my nose at it as a kid, though.
Pumpkin pie or pecan pie? Pecan.
Used to be pecan. I've switched over to pumpkin now.
Oh,
Pumpkin for me.
Chocolate.
chocolate. You don't like either of those.
I don't.
Yeah. If Rogersville had a community turkey bowl, what position would you play? I love it.
Defensive back.
Because you played that in high school, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Defensive back.
Yeah. Yeah. Defensive back, quarterback's what I played.
Linebacker.
Yeah,
See that?
I never played the line ever because I was small. Now I could probably play the line. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm excited about this project. And I want to say thank you because this is something that's much needed. And, you know, if it's going to make everyone's life just so much better. And I know it's a hard project, but you guys have spearheaded this and just want to say thank you. So, any closing words about the project or anything? You think we covered everything?
Did we talk about the goal there? 1.3 million was what we were.
I don't think we actually said that number.
Yeah, we've raised about 540 some thousand ish.
Yeah.
And we're shooting for 1.3 million. So
Okay.
I just wanted to get that number out there.
Yeah. So if you got, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you know, like you guys had said, like nothing's too small.
Correct.
You know.
Yep.
So, you know, whatever God puts on your heart to give or whatever you feel like you want to give for this community and your own kids and your grandkids and, you know, all that, that's great. So, all right. Well, we don't have any sports this week. We're done.
Falls out.
Yeah. So we're going to have we won't cover any sports this week and we'll be back next Sunday. No, not next Sunday. I don't know when we'll be back, but we'll be back at some point. So, guys, thank you so much, and go Cats.
Thanks for having us on,
Yes,
John.
yeah.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.